The Green Controller. Percy woke up at the sheds to find that he is all alone. All the engines had just left to start their usual day's work. As Percy was about to leave, he could see the Fat Controller's car arrive. However, instead of the Fat Controller inside, it was Lady Had and her friends. "The Fat Controller is sick," she announced. "He has lost his voice." Percy was worried. "I hope he finds it soon," he peeped. Lady Had read out a list of jobs from the Fat Controller. Gordon is to collect coaches of china from the big station and take them to the docks. He must go very slowly. "Slow cars," peeped Percy. James is to shunt trucks in the coal yards. He must be as busy as a bee," Lady Had went on. "Busy bee," puffed Percy. "And Toby is to take visitors to the Scottish castle. He must go as fast as Gordon's Express." "Gordon's Express," puffed Percy. "Now you are in charge, Percy," said Lady Had as she left. Percy was excited and eager to start. Along the way, he met up with Thomas. "I'm the controller for the day," peeped Percy proudly. "Do you need any help?" Thomas asked. "No, thank you. Controllers don't need help," wheezed Percy, and off he chuffed. Percy found Gordon first. "The Fat Controller has lost his voice," chuffed Percy, "so I am the controller today." Gordon was surprised. Percy tried hard to remember what Lady Had said. "You must pull very slow trucks," he peeped. "Oh, the indignity," huffed Gordon. Percy had a lot to do and a lot to remember. Next, Percy found James at the washdown. "James, you must be a busy bee," he peeped. James gasped. "Do you mean I had to be yellow and black?" he whistled. "Yes, James," Percy said sternly. James wanted to keep his red paint. "Engine must do as they are told," Percy boomed as he puffed away. Next, Percy found Toby. "Toby, you must pull Gordon's Express," he told him. "Why?" Toby asked. He was very puzzled by this new task. "That's your job. You must do as you are told," peeped Percy loudly. Percy felt very important. Later, Percy decided it was time to check on the engines. He knew that it's what the Fat Controller would do. Some children were waiting on the bridge to see the engines. "Hello," Percy peeped. But the children were looking at the track where Gordon was puffing slowly down the line. The children began to laugh. "Look at Gordon," they cried. "What a slow coach." Then James arrived at the signal. The children started to laugh again. James's splendid red paintwork was not splendid or red anymore. He had been painted with yellow and black stripes. "Who is that giant stripy bee?" the children called. Finally, Toby, the tram engine, huffed in with the heavy express. It was very hard work for a little engine like him, and Toby was tired. "My axles ached," poor Toby wheezed to James. Gordon, James, and Toby heard the children laughing. Percy was watching anxiously. Gordon called out to Percy, "I am supposed to be the fastest engine on Sodor, not the slowest," he huffed. "I'm supposed to be the reddest engine on Sodor," moaned James. "Now no one knows who I am." "I'm only a steam tram," Toby puffed. "The express is just too heavy for me to pull." Percy was worried. He knew he had made lots of mistakes. Just then, Thomas arrived. "What is wrong?" he asked. "Please help me, Thomas. I can't remember what Lady Had told me. All the engines are doing the wrong jobs." Thomas thought for a moment. "You must go back over your tracks," he said. "You might see things that will help you remember." Percy thought that was a very good idea. First, Thomas and Percy chuffed into the big station. Gordon and slow trucks, puffed Percy to himself. Suddenly, Percy saw crates of china on a truck waiting in the siding. That's it, Percy cried. Gordon is to take the china to the docks. He must pull them very slowly. Then they puffed into the coal yards. James must be a busy bee, Percy said slowly. There were lots of grumbling coal trucks waiting to be shunted. That's it! James has to shunt lots of trucks, so he must be as busy as a bee, peeped Percy happily. Finally, they arrived at the station. Toby must pull Gordon's express, puzzled Percy. Suddenly, he saw a group of visitors waiting on the platform. That's it, he cried. Toby is to take visitors to the Scottish castle. He has to go as fast as Gordon's express. Well done, Thomas puffed happily. By the end of the day, all the engines were doing the right jobs. Percy returned to the sheds, feeling pleased with himself. That evening, the Fat Controller came to the sheds. You have done very well, Percy, he boomed. I am very pleased. And I'm very pleased that you found your voice, Percy peeped happily. The Fat Controller smiled. And I hope you'll never lose it again, he added.